let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 different brands to cover in this video, so let's get to it. What's up, techies? Josh here. This video we're going over some S20 Ultra cases. All these cases will be provided with a link down below in the video description in case you want to pick one up for yourself. All these were sent out for this video purpose, so I appreciate these companies supporting the channel in that way. All the opinions are my own. I'm mainly just going to be showing what the features are and some key things that I look for in a case, if it's going to be something that I would use on a regular basis on a daily driver type situation. I'm just going to start off with what's on the phone right now. This is UAG Urban Armor Gear. This is a go-to company that I like to support. They have tons of cases that you can get, tons of devices that are supported, and they just check off pretty much all the boxes that I look for in a case. So to start off with that kind of stuff. First of all, this is rugged. It's got reinforced corners and also has raised edge, so that way it's protecting the camera department. I mean, that thing, it's huge. It's also raised above the screen, so if you do drop it face down, it does have some kind of coverage there as well. This is the Monarch series. It's one that they've had for quite a while now in their lineups. And one of the things I like about it the most is that it's got this leather type feel on the back and these little spaces there, but it's also got these ridges, and that helps with grip. These phones are huge, so they're actually kind of hard to grip. Even with my massive hands, these things are slippery. They can fall out your hand really easy. So just that little bit of rigidness right here actually goes a long way because you're able to just grip onto the phone really nice. Speaking of grip, you do have some ridges here on the side, so it again just adds to that nice hold in case you're holding your phone for an extended amount of time. The other feature that I like to look for with the case is if the buttons are tactile. These are definitely that. It's been pretty much the same consistent quality over the years. That's one of the things I do like about UAG. So this one is called the Civilian Series. It's a little bit different, still pretty protective. I've tried both these out, like as soon as I got them in the mail, I wanted to try them out. But this one's a little different. It's got a smoother back. It doesn't have those ridges like I was telling you about. And it's got some pretty cool new branding on the back for Urban Armor Gear. So I went with the military green type color. It's got some orange accents on the front here too. It's pretty simple to install. So while it's smooth, it doesn't feel too slippery, but it's definitely not as grippy as this one, and I'm like dropping bars over here. Everything else is pretty much the same. You got tactile buttons, and I like that a lot. It's got raised edges, you know, protection pretty much all the way around. It does not have the reinforced corners like the Monarch, but it's still full coverage all the way around the phone. You got full access to all your ports, speakers, all that fun stuff. Out of the two, do you like the Civilian or do you like the Monarch more? Or is there another series that you like that UAG makes? Let me know down in the comments. Me, I like the Monarch the most. Another trusted brand is Otterbox. They've supported the channel for quite some time now, and I'm definitely appreciating them continuing that support. But anyways, this is the Commuter series. It's been around for a long time. You got two different layers here. The outer shell is a nice hard plastic. The inner is the silicone material, so you got two layers of protection. It's a great go-to case. I've used this style case, man, probably every phone that I've had since like the Galaxy S3 or something like that. It's been a long time, put it that way. So the way that you want to install this is to put that silicone case part in there first, and then take the outer shell and just work its way on. And you can see it just kind of go right into the ridges. You do have a port cover with this case, so you're gonna wanna make sure that that comes through fine as well. The benefits to the Otterbox Commuter is that you get this hard shell on the outside. Now the Defender case has the silicone on the outer side, so it's not as pocketable, so I like to wear skinny jeans for the most part. And when I'm wearing those, I've gotta have something that I can slide my phone easy in and out. Definitely looks pretty big inside because these phones again are massive. But the cool thing about this too is that it's got a nice grip because of that silicone layer on the outside. The buttons are nice and tactile. They feel really good. Not a lot of effort to put into it. That's what I like about buttons. I don't like really hard pressed ones that just kind of gets on my nerves. So as mentioned before, there is a dust cover, so that's really nice. If you're in the elements, out in the dust a lot, I used to do lawn care landscaping. These kind of cases are definitely what I look for because and dust and dirt just got everywhere, so it's definitely nice to have that kind of protection to be able to cover up that kind of stuff when needed. Ringkey is another one of the cases that I've used the most. Out of these cases, I would say I used the Ringkey the most for the simple reason that it had a nice texture on the back, and it just added that grip, and the buttons were nice and tactile, and it was a little bit thinner than the rest of them. So this case has that camo design, but I've got a stack of other designs here too. Really easy to put onto the phone. Like I said, the buttons were really nice and tactile, probably better than the other ones that I just talked about. It's got reinforced corners. You know, reinforced corners is important because a lot of drops happen on the corner, and that's where a lot of impact happens. So having that kind of protection is really good. But the other part about this case that I just ended up going to, it's not like the prettiest looking thing, but it's definitely functional. That's what I liked about it the most, is that it's got a good grip on the back, these different ridges, the texture, all that kind of stuff just felt good in the hand. Plus, also there's these extra texture that's on the power button. So if you're blindly looking for your buttons, it's easy to differentiate between the power button and also the volume rockers. Out of all the cases that I've talked about and also ones that I've got in front of me, this is the one that I've used the most. So it was actually kind of surprised me because I like the other ones a lot, cool designs and stuff, but I just ended up using this more. All right, so this is like a smoke color scheme here. It's really glossy. I'm not a fan of glossy textures. One, it attracts fingerprints for the most part. So let's do a fingerprint test. And I just don't like that grimy feeling, but the thing I noticed about this, it has some nice extra grip to it because of that kind of plastic feel. This particular case is the Air. This was the Fusion. This is the Air. It's the clear case, but you can kind of get the same idea a little bit with the clear case. You can see here clearly. Buttons feel good. I like them. Again, it's got that nice grip just like the other Air, the smoke color one. And if you have a different kind of color, it comes through really nice. The S20 Ultra only came in 2 different colors, so it's not like this wow factor. The other S20s have some really cool colors, so you could get that in case you got the S20 and not the Ultra. This is called the Fusion X. Again, we got some more film to peel off. This is a lot like that camo one that I had on there. You know what? I haven't done a Bane Tech video, I think, this year at all. I've got goals to revive this channel. Well, let's see how it goes. I'm gonna try to put some outtakes and stuff at the end of videos. It'd be fun like that. Looks like a fully black case. Test out the buttons. Buttons feel good. I like the texture of the camo one more. It just felt better in the hand. I don't like that glossy feeling. That's just my preference, but it might be something that you like. But you can see it's got all these different designs here, and that reinforced corner. It's just, it feels good in the hand. It's a very functional case. Here's the Fusion matte finish. Might actually like this one more. So far, what is your favorite case as I'm trying to peel this away? And I'm using a monitor, like I got a different camera rig set up using the Sony FS5 Mark II, in case anybody's curious. But I've got the Atmos Ninja 5 up top. And rather than looking here at the lens, I tend to look up at the monitor. So it's just something I gotta get used to, and they need to have like a pull tab for these films. Yay. This glossy black, it just like attracts lint and dust and all kinds of crap. Thumbs up for those that use your shirt to wipe off your phone. It's got that matte finish. I mean, it's called the Fusion Matte. And in my opinion, it actually looks better to me. I'm not a fan of that glossy look. I like that matte finish. I like that, that looks good. It's pretty cool looking. All right, this is another Fusion X, but it's got a blue trim instead of black or clear. Part of me is like, don't even bother putting it on the phone. You've already done it about 5 different other times, but I'm sure there's someone out there that wants to see this blue on the black, right? Some people care. I care. I care about you. The one that's looking for the blue onto the black, this is your phone. Case combo. Was it worth me putting it on? Is this you? Let's go with Lifeproof Next. So this is the Lifeproof Next case. It's dirt and drop proof. So it's not waterproof, not the kind of Lifeproof that you might be used to, but they make so many cases these days now. Oh man, the whole case didn't come out of the packaging. I was about to, not install that right. But this is definitely one of the most protective cases that you could get for your phone. It's got some solid reinforcement. Another clear top case. There's no film to take off. So you just put the phone in like so on the bottom part, and then you've got the frame that snaps in pretty good. This is one of those cases that you're not going to want to uninstall and install over and over again. It's pretty much one of those set and forgets. All right, so the one thing I don't care about this already is that glass and plastics are just meshing together. So it kind of creates that weird effect right there. So, I mean, it's not a deal breaker or nothing like that, but buttons feel good. That's something that they've improved on. They've not always been the best with the tactile type button press. There's a dust cover here too. So again, it's one of the most protective cases you can get for your phone. It's gonna be very impact resistant. It's gonna, I mean, if you drop your phone, it's clear, you're gonna see if it's cracked on the back or not. So that's a perk of that. But other things I like about this is that it's got a nice rubbery feel on the outside of the frame, and also it's got that grip because it's got that plastic feel on the back. It does add quite a bit of bulk, so that's something to consider. This phone is already massive as it is. So the way that you're gonna uninstall this is that you pry it off. You could take a coin or something like that and begin to just kind of gently pry it off, and it starts to come off, and you just kind of peel it off on the side. See? Yeah, coin works like a charm. So if you have an S20, what you think about it? It's been a pretty good phone. I'm back on my iPhone though. So I bought and used the S20 Ultra for a few weeks, and I was like, it's time to go back to the iPhone. It had a good run, but just like the ecosystem of Apple. All right, next up, Ghosttech R7X shock absorbing technology. Ghosttech. That should be good. Let's see what it looks like on inside. All right, what I'm liking about it at the moment is it's got some good grip. You can feel it really good there, but the thing that they've struggled with in the past is the button press. Whoa, they fixed it. Yes, Ghosttech, good job. These are great. This is probably the best tactile button that I have used so far in all these cases that we've got here. All right, so it's definitely a solid build. You got two different layers of protection that's kind of built into one piece. You got some reinforced rubber corners, so that's good. You got full access to all your ports and buttons there. Man, that button press is just nice. Some other minor details that I, just kind of appreciate is that you've got an arrow buttons here on the volume rocker and a power icon, so it's just a cool little touch there. It's got somewhat of a minimal, sleek kind of design. I recommend this case. It moved up in the ranks like Ghosttech, like you've had some pretty good cases, but this is a nice improvement. Good job. All right, we've got another one from Ghosttech. This one is more of just a TPU style, but it's got an extra little feature on the back. So this extra little feature is that it has a kickstand. Voila. So yeah, you're pretty much only gonna be able to, will not stand like this, so it's gonna have to be like that. And the buttons are really good on this too. So Ghosttech, man, y'all doing good this year. Good job. We're getting there, we're getting through some more. All right, VRS Design. This is another case company that I've worked with for quite a few years now. Actually, most of these I've worked with for a long time. So these cases, like VRS kind of switches things up every year. They're somewhat similar of what they offer, but a little bit different every time. So this one is a wallet style. It's got wallet stuff on the back. The downside to this is that you're not going to use wireless charging because this is blocking it. So if you're not hung up on that, that's not a bad idea. But this here will hold about 2 to 3 cards. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I like this kind of style. I like the wallet stuff on the back because if you're traveling, it makes for a good travel companion. You don't have to carry a wallet with you. You have everything in one place. It's just easier to get through airports, all that kind of fun stuff. But they always make great cases. Like VRS Design, can't go wrong with them. Buttons feel nice and good. You got these nice texture here on. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That feels good too. So the texture here helps with that grip. Got nice protection, buttons feel good. Ports are all accessible. If you can see, it's kind of like a spring-loaded. And this is, the particular case that this one is called the Glide Pro. This is another Glide Pro, black. Just show you what it looks like, black on black. I don't know which one I like more. Which one do you like more? I like the military green, so I'm a fan of that. I like the two-tone kind of look, but the black looks nice and sleek and stealthy looking, so I'd probably use the black over the green. That's me. This one is called the Glide Shield. It's just a little bit different design. Still has that similar wallet access, but it's kind of like a thinner, regular TPU material that's like here on the case itself. So yeah, buttons, they feel good. Nothing wrong with that. Ooh, update. Man, I like phones too much. I switched back to the iPhone. It's like a great, the workflow and all that kind of stuff, iMessage, AirDrop, all the features of the ecosystem is so nice. But then I go back to like doing this phone here, and it's a nice phone. I like it. I wish I could use two phones equally at the same time. But, I mean, I used it enough to make a review, but not so much with winning my soul back. So this is the Crystal Mix Pro. Ooh, we got some knickknacks in here. We have a wrist lanyard, so you can be more attached to your phone. It's elastic. So style-wise, it's definitely different. It's like that TPU material, but it's got a hard kind of shell right here. It's got the carbon fiber kind of design on it. But you can put this handy dandy lanyard onto it. What's up? This is ridiculous. I never thought I'd ever attach a phone to my wrist like this. This is like a leash. You kind of see commercials for these kind of things. I just kind of flip by them. I'm like, there's no way I'd ever use anything like that. And I'm sitting here trying to think about, in what situation would I want this attached to my wrist like this? It's not very comfortable to hold like that. So let me switch hands. It's my watch hand, so I don't know if I'd put it on there in the first place. It's better. Okay, so this hook is better if you have it on this hand, but just because of the way it positions itself. I can't think of a situation to where I'd want the phone attached to me like that. I'd rather just keep it in my pocket. I guess like you could be working on something, you need both hands to carry, but you don't have pockets. I guess that would be the ideal situation to where you would want to use that. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in. Like, this is new to me. I just never thought that. Wow. So we've got another Glide Shield. All right, so you can kind of see through this. It's got a little bit different shades going on. It's got a purple type shade there, but you can see the different mechanism here that makes this kind of spring action. Just like the other one. Feels good, buttons feel good, easy access. I am surrounded by cases. This one is Distronic. This is the S-Line case. Let's see the S-Line. This is a simple TPU material. It's flexible but protective. TPU cases actually are not a bad option at all. I like how thin they are. They don't add a lot of bulk, but you still get some level of protection to where it just a good everyday kind of carry. Buttons feel really good on this, nice and tactile. You got full coverage around the edges. Like I said, it's minimal. It's got this extra texture on the back, and that helps with holding the phone so you don't drop it as much. We have another TPU style case. This is made by Lite. Lite is one of my favorite companies that has ever existed. Super cool people. Rest in peace, Joel. But yeah, like I'm always loving to support Lite. I want to see some more Android designs. That's what attracted me to Lite in the first place. They used to put Android designs, the Droid bug and all that kind of stuff on the backs of their cases. that was the best thing. That when I first got going with this channel, that's the stuff that I was covering. So it's just the Android fanboy that I was at the time, was definitely like super excited to get that kind of stuff. And then just again, really cool people to work with. So they've been around since the OG Bane techers. Yeah, like that's pretty awesome. But yeah, really cool that they're still going and doing stuff. I'm glad that they kept on going. But moving on, what I like about this case, and this is actually, and I like this as every day because it feels like leather. It's not leather on the back, but it's got that leather feel. I like texture. I don't like glossy backs. I like materials that are like leathers, wood, things like that. So even though that this is plastic, I do like that it has that leather feel. The buttons feel good. It's a nice minimal case. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's not bulky. So it's definitely a good go-to case that I would recommend. And actually, like, they're one of the more inexpensive ones that's laying here on this table. This is another cruiser light, but this one has that carbon fiber feel and look to it. Pretty much the same thing we just talked about, all the same features. Everything is pretty much the same, just a different design on the back. And this actually has a pretty nice, cool texture to it. I like the look of this a little bit more. I like the two-tone, looks good, it's functional. All black look, so it's got that nice, sleek kind of design to it. Now it's totally one of the cool companies that you could work with as well. And they're usually the thinnest that I've ever experienced. This is not the thinnest one that they make. They have some other cases that are like a matte kind of finish, and those things are super, super thin. So if you're looking for just like scratch protection, not necessarily drop protection, it's a good way to go because you're gonna be protected and it just gives a nice thin feel, like super thin. It's just like, it's actually mind-blowing how thin that they make these things. But anyways, like I like the other ones a little bit more because of the texture. This one has that gloss kind of feel to it. It does have some extra grip because of that gloss though. The buttons feel good, nice, super easy press. All right, last but not least, we have some leather flip cover style wallet cases. This is FYI, FYY, maybe 5? It's probably the highest you'll ever hear my voice go, by the way. So on the inside, it's like a TPU style case. Buttons feel really good, nice and tactile, nice job. This has a magnetic closure on the side. And then you've got space for your bills, cards. You've got about 3 different slots there. So this part here just makes it a little bit easier to push the cards up and access. It's definitely pleather. I really like the smell of leather. And it's not leather, it's fake. Genuine leather, right? Yeah. Protection-wise, I mean, you got a full case on the inside, but then you also got the leather on the outside. So it's definitely a well-protected case. So for those that like this kind of style, this is definitely one of those good go-tos. This one's a little bit different design, but you got that kind of TPU case on the inside here. It's got that leather on the inside instead of felt. It's got a plastic piece here, so I guess your ID card could go right there, or if you just whatever card you like to access the most, probably do the best right there. Then you got a couple more spots and then your billfold. I think I like this design a little bit more. That was a bunch of cases to get through. Which one was your favorite? I like, what's my favorite out of all of these? The top case I like the most. If I can only choose one case, if only this Ghosttech had a different texture on the back, I would choose that one because I really like the button press on it. All right, so let's go top 3. UAG Monarch, that's gonna be top 3. Go with my Cruiser Lite TPU case. OtterBox is a good go-to. My thing is like, if I'm gonna be in rough conditions at times, I'm gonna need some good level of protection. But I think this Ringkey case, the camo one here, is what lived on the phone the longest. But when this came in, because this came in last, the UAG was the last to board the ship, I probably would use the Monarch case the most. But then I would get tired of the bulk and then I'd want to go to something like the Cruiser Lite. It's tough. If I can only choose one case, probably gonna go with this one here, the Ringkey, because I just like how thin it is and it still adds some level of protection. Nah, I'm gonna change my mind. I think I'd go with the UAG Monarch because it's got that leather feel in the back, the buttons feel good, it's got good protection, and it's not overly bulky. So yeah, this would be my number 1. What would be your number 1? That's what I'm curious about. All the links to all these cases will be down below in the video description. Some of them might even have some discount codes. So all that information will be down below in the video description. If you like the music of this video, you can check out MusicBed, got more information there. I like using MusicBed a lot. I use it for all my YouTube videos on this channel, but also I use it for my professional work, like wedding videos, corporate videos. They just have a really great style and selection that I just like to choose from. I use other sites too, but I like MusicBed for my good stuff. So check them out, link below. These are where a lot of cases to get through. I mean, we're at the 25-minute mark again, and that's almost an hour of editing, or hour of footage an hour's worth of footage to edit through. But I'm looking forward to doing it. It's been a while. I haven't put out a video this year at all. So with that said too, S20, I have got to put out my review of the S20 Ultra and my experience with it. What's some information that you want to know about that review? This case's video is coming out before my actual review of the phone. It's time to go. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Yep. One camera, two camera. All right, I'm gonna move on to Ringkey. Ringkey. I'm gonna move on to Ringkey cases. These, I'm gonna move on to Ringkey. I think that's how you say it. Ringkey. That's gotta be what it is, right? Ringkey. So since we're on Ringkey, if you're gonna name a company name, make it to where people don't have to guess what the pronunciation is. All right, any films on this? They should have put a film on here because there's dust in it already. All right, but again, you've got that leather, again, you've got that kind of, look at stuff everywhere.